Hey everybody, Dan here for Argo Comics, where we do not just publish independent comics, we support independent comics, and we are going to have our Indie Monster Haul. Here we go, as per usual, a big stack of indie comics goodness, starting with our friends over at G-Man Comics. We got our Kickstarter fulfillment with the books and the cover choices that we made. Okay, this is Simon and Kirby Agent number 11. Okay, and here is your credits. Okay, just freeze frame these credits each time. And you'll get the gist of who did what on these books. And I believe this was the Stephen Butler cover right here. With the G-Man Comics, you get after the Kickstarter's over, there's a survey and you pick which covers you want. I do much of the same in Thunder Zone. Okay, initially we have a story here by Rick Offenberger and art by Gilbert Monsanto, letters by Eric N. Bennett. So those are three of the major voices over in G-Man Comics. I always like to give some sample of the art. Someone had sent me a digital, said, is it going to be on the Monster Haul? I only read physical, and I haven't been doing editing on these videos where I splice images into it or anything. So basically, I've been just whatever physical books, which you can see there's a ton of them, but Gilbert's a fantastic artist. The whole line is a great line of books. So here's a nice double page spread. Okay, so they're chugging along with this. I mean, it's number 11. Sergeant Flag is up to number 6. Okay, and trying to see which was this. Yeah. Trying to recall which. See, there's a signature, but doesn't really. It's not very clear. Here are the credits. It might have been the Stefani Renee cover, I believe. But there's the credits again on Sergeant Flag. Okay. Written by Rick Offenberger, Dan Hagen. Pencils by Hickey, or Hick. Inks and colors by Tio Piniera. They're good friends or brothers, I believe. And letters by Mike W. Belcher. So, yeah, I had a short story done by that art team as well. You can see what their work looks like. Great stuff. And here's a good full page of Sergeant Flag relaxing with a smoke. So that was number 6 of this. Number 7 of Lynx. Let's see, Alan Farrier had been doing Lynx. But yeah, we had on this issue, okay, yeah, the credits again. Rick writing it, Rick Offenberger, artist Fernando Damasio, who I had a few pages done from, colorist Tio Pinheiro. So, this is what that art team looks like. Okay, oh, as far as covers are concerned, yeah, again, I'm not sure. Looking for the signature, don't see it. So, this might be another Stefani Rene. That's link 7, G-Men United 7. And I recognize the art style there as Ron Williams, Ron C. Williams. Another artist who I've worked with in Argo Comics and Thunder Zone. Yeah, the credits. But here's more credits because I think this might be, let me see, yeah, we had a couple different stories. So you have different credits going here. Looks like we had 2 by Ron Williams and a middle story by another creative team. So, yeah, it looks like on this one you had a Tyrannus story to start off with. And then, let's see, this Birds of Prey story. And this Sister Flag story entitled Fubar. So 2 out of 3 were Ron Williams. And yeah, that's issue number 7 now. Issue number 1, first guard. Okay, I like a team book. Looks like a good team of heroes. Yeah, so here are the credits here. Okay, so Eric and Bennett did the words and letters on this team. Fernando Damasio, who just did a few pages for me. Pencils and inks. Tio Pinheiro doing the colors. So you can see there's a good team shot of the heroes right there. And yeah, I'll be interested to read this one. Another good team shot right here. Yeah, and I like the overall balance of the team characters and the look of the team. 2-in-1. This is the first issue of this. Thought there maybe had been one already, but 2-in-1. Okay, G-Man Comics 2-in-1. Let me just see if this is one story or not. Yes. So, like Marvel 2-in-1 or Marvel Team Up, this has a team up of 2 characters. I did something the same in Argo Comics Double Shot, but it was like 3 8-page stories, 2 characters who hadn't met before in Argo Comics. So, but yeah, full issues gives you time to get a little more in depth and flesh out the characters. So it's a good idea, and I'm sure this will be a good read as well. That's number 1 of that. Number 5 of Tyrannus the Thunderlord, and this has Donar. I know that is another indie character based on mythology. This is number 5 of Tyrannus, and here are your credits to freeze and read. Okay, and this book was done in kind of like a Kirby style, obvious tribute to the king. He's a Kirby type giant, definitely in the Kirby flavor. So these are all on the Kickstarter for G-Man Comics, and you can just web search G-Man Comics group and you'll find where to get their books. Another Kickstarter, I had the issues, but I jumped in for the trade. Super Team International, 88. Okay, again, I do like a team. See if we got some credits to make things easy. Yeah, story and lettering, Scotto Brown. Art, Carlos Gabriel Diaz. Credits right there, freeze that, read it. And yeah, I liked what I saw in the single issues. So you get a kind of like a Silver Age feel for these characters. And let's see if the company is here. See the company there? Bronco Inc. Comics. Okay, so they're on Kickstarter, and oh, where's the other? Oh, here it is. I knew I had another book on that Kickstarter. They actually got Bart Sears to do this homage cover, okay, for the single issue. This was issue 6. So they had this as an add-on. Big fan of Bart Sears. So I jumped in. One other thing, Bart Sears, Kevin McGuire. Wait, no, this is Bart Sears. Kevin McGuire did the original one. Bart Sears did the one Kevin McGuire did for Justice League International, and then Bart Sears did it for Justice League Europe. So this is indeed Bart Sears, as I said. Big fan of that, his work. So, yeah, was happy to get this one. Another creator who I'm a fan of, Tim Tyler. So he had this cover for Stain. Okay, Stain is kind of like in the vein of what London Night Studios used to be. Those type of stories and characters and creators, where it's a little bit towards a horror flavor maybe. And this issue is black and white. So it has a little bit of a grittier horror type take on things. And then we have this initial story by David Curl and Tim Tyler, pencils by Tim Vigil, inks and tones by Tim Tyler. So again, when I mentioned London Night Studios, those are some big names from there. Okay. The credits there. And yeah, just some great combination of creators just doing some fantastic work. Okay, but this is an anthology. You do have more stories. Up. There's another style that's in there. So parental advisory on this one. So I'm just seeing what is safe to show. We have another story here. And 4 rode out to kill D. Justine, which I have comics with D. Justine in the past. I think Joe Vigil was involved in D. Justine at one point. As you can see, there's different creators on the credits here. Then we have various pinups as well on the back. Okay, Digital Phantom Press. And this was a Kickstarter. So you can look them up. Another Kickstarter, the Switch Electricia. Yeah, I really like the preview pages they had for this. Keith Champagne and Tom Wynn. Okay. Credits. This is a trade, so I really can't open it up super wide to show everything off, but yeah, really some nice work here. Okay, I get the company. It's New Pain. They don't have the logo on this cover, but here it is on the other book. New Pain Productions, LLC. Okay, and here's the back cover of this. So I really like the art style. And, you know, a cool looking superhero universe. So I jumped in on that. And then I had this Electricia issue. Okay. Just different content. Let's see if we have. Okay, here you got some credits right there. Splash page of art. So, yeah, Tom Wynn really kicking out some nice pencils and inks. And Rich Stunk doing the colors, he's doing a fantastic job as well. So visually, this is a great looking book. I'll be very interested to give it a read. I've backed them before, and the quality is there. Okay. YEET presents number 68. YEET is on Patreon. Okay, when you subscribe to YEET, they just charge you $5 anytime an issue comes out, and then it comes to your mailbox, and that is that. We got the Heap and Rot versus Rotwolf on this cover. Okay, it's usually a flip book where we have Aurelia on the other cover. And let's see what we got here. So we got a number of stories always in YEET. We got a Mr. Monster, one of my favorite indie creations, on the inside cover there. And got a story by Shane Luttrell. There's the credits on that one. So this issue, okay, YEET sometimes does some color. This issue looks all black and white. Okay, that was the cover story. Then we get seems like a prose story with a couple of illustrations. We got a story by Dave Sim. Okay. So that's unique. Let's see. Another little story there. Let's see, is that the same story? Yeah. And then this is where it starts upside down, so we got to start from the other side now. And we got this Rotwolf story. I guess he encounters the HEET. Got the credits in the upper corner there. Rotwolf versus the HEET. HEET is kind of like a public domain Swamp Thing. So that looks good, and that would have been at home in, I think, the other book there, Stain. Looks like that style. Looks like we got a Halloween story here. Let's see, is that the last story? No. We got the story Boxers by Doug Curtis. Okay. So, and then some pinups, but we got a letter column. So YEET keeps that tradition going. The letter column. All right. Again, like I said, it's always a variety of stories in YEET. So, but I do enjoy seeing a book that's maybe not like super slick production where you can kind of see something that's a little more, I don't know, grassroots indie type of thing. So I like seeing that in YEET. Okay, another Kickstarter was Hellcats. I had number 1, so this is number 2 from the Hyperverse. Let's see if we got some. Yeah, John Rhodes, the main force behind that, and he does the story in pencils here. Colors Avery Ferdinand. So yeah, John's got a great style. And backing his other books brought me to this one on Kickstarter, and yeah, I do like the look of it. So here's a big double page spread, give you an idea. Okay. Nothing Man. That was, I guess, one of John's original series, and we were both in Antarctic Press's Exciting Comics, with him with Nothing Man, me with Nature Man, and Big House Blues. So I first probably saw his work there and thought it was very good. I believe this was a Kickstarter. Welcome to the Evolution, Ray of Hope. Okay, now, yeah, they got a big sticker that they put on here for first printing. That's not part of the cover. Once I get this out, I can show you. Tag was unusually sticky. Because I did take this out before. This is one of those ones, since it's very sticky, you gotta kind of be careful that the glue doesn't stick to the comic. Okay, the Ray of Hope looks like a superhero team, which I'm into. This even looks like a team shot in the back. Okay, and there were some prints or whatever that looked super teamy. This big double page thing, super team. But when I flipped through the book, the actual story didn't really get much of the costumed crime fighters that I sometimes like in a book. This could be all just setup, where they're going to go more into that in the second issue. But yeah, like here's a two pages of interiors. Guess it's all, if it's setting up a complex story of some sort, then I guess we'll see. Again, parental advisory, so I'm not going to show every page. Just try to show a page that maybe has, at a certain point, the book kind of turned into an up and down book, which I'm not against. It's a variety of page layout. So yeah, I mean, it looks like you kind of have the team on the top and bottom, but you don't really get to see them in action. And yeah, I usually like that in a superhero comic, just at least get to see who's got what powers and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good, and we'll have to see what happens with issue 2. Antarctic Press I had just mentioned, so we got Kendra. Okay, I believe originally it was going to be a little bit of a Red Sonja parody, and this is blue instead of red. Let's see. So this isn't cover A or cover B, which you can see here. They got cover A and cover B. So I'm not sure of the cover artist, no signature. Let's see. It says Ben Dunn and Joe Wolf. Maybe this is Joe Wolf art because well, no, maybe it's Ben's. Let's see if there's credits. Yeah. So the art is Ben's, yeah. There's some art. Credits. And it's Antarctic Press, so you should be able to track down a copy. They usually are in mainstream distribution. Looks like a sword and sorcery type thing. Looks like we got a wizard here, or a mage. So, yeah, I like that type of stuff. Used to play Dungeons and Dragons way back in the day. So that is Kendra by Antarctic Press. Number 1 of 3. Final boss, I decided to pick up from Image. I have to say that this character here really gave me a chain reaction vibe from the mask and the hair and the martial arts. Because yeah, at first I kind of saw it and said, wow, that kind of heavy inspiration on chain reaction. But, you know, there's only so many designs that people can do, so I'm not going to make that claim. Just, yeah, it kind of stuck out at me with the no shirt and all that. But still, you know, I still picked up the book. So, kind of like a Top Cow style. Does look very good. I do like this art style. Kind of like a Dale Keown inspired art. So here you go with the credits. And yeah, overall, looks pretty good. A lot of times on Image, they usually just get the trade. But I was curious, so I popped in for issue 1 here. Image Comics widely available, so you should be able to track that one down. And talking of Image, Free Planet. So like I said, I waited for the trade. Jed Doherty doing the artwork in here, and I like his work. So that brought me to this book. Let's see if we got credits. Okay. And yeah, I mean, talking about super teams, this looks like a lineup of superheroes in the super team. Let me see if there's a page with some characters for you to get an idea of the art style. Okay. They've won their independence, but their fight has only just begun. Free planet. I mean, maybe a planet gains their freedom. Put that over there. Black Hammer, Spiral City. Black Hammer usually does compendiums, which I usually wait for. They probably double dip on me. I don't know if they're going to put compendiums or not. So I end up with trades and compendiums. The Eisner Award Superhero Saga is back. So Black Hammer, a lot of the characters were homages, Marvel and DC. I'm a little behind on reading Black Hammer, but I do really like the first collection, and everything they've done looks very good. So I've been keeping up with what they have put out. That's Dark Horse Comics, Black Hammer. And one of my favorite artists, Terry Dodson, has Adventure Man. Okay, this again is Image. Looks like all these trades are Image Comics, but Adventure Man, collection of another one I double dip on because I think they've come out in oversized hardcovers and I get them in a more readable trade. Terry Dodson, his art, just phenomenal. Rachel Dodson usually doing the inks, and yeah. Actually had a book about inking with some lessons from her. Just an incredible combination. Some of the best artwork you could find in any comic. Terry and Rachel Dodson. Met him at conventions, heck of a nice guy. Was able to get a leopard last pinup for Sorority of Power. He was generous enough to do that for me. Ooh, look at this, working out. That's my other major hobby, working out. So it's all coming together right here in Adventure Man Volume 2, A Fairy Tale of New York. And lastly, we have a compendium. As I was talking about compendiums, I think I have all the trade paperbacks on this. Oh, look at that. Gonna have to be careful and try to do some surgery on this, because this compendium pages, this is a printing error, where look, there's some extra paper here. So I'll have to, yeah, it's barely by the corners there, but I'm just going to do a careful procedure with that. It's part of the Invincible Universe tech jacket. Really some different styles of art throughout the series. Okay, because we start out more of a simple style there. It's hard to show you these trades. More simple style, like later on, got a much more gritty style. But yeah, the whole Invincible Universe, fun stuff. And I get the trades and compendiums especially, because I like a big chunk of reading that I don't have to search around for all these trades. So that's going to do it for this Indie Monster haul. I'm going to ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, just so we can spread the word. I'm not monetized or anything, so I'm not really getting anything for spreading the word on these indie comics. What I'm getting is that, you know, you guys all discover this stuff. You get a little preview here, see some of the art, see perhaps what I like about it, and then, you know, maybe you check out some of these books for yourselves. So, but comment in the comment section what indie books you're picking up, because then people will get exposed to that as well. And, you know, in the indie community, especially these, you know, smaller indie companies, you kind of need that word of mouth so that, you know, a lot of them are superior to a lot of books out there, but you never know if you're not exposed to them. So I try to do my part to expose you to these books. And like I said, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next one.